Hello, my name is Paul Chapman. I work with the Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub, helping businesses identify and access the support they need to meet their challenges and make the most of their opportunities. It's been a particularly difficult last year for all of us, but although we can maybe now see a little bit of light at the end of the COVID tunnel, there's certainly some challenges that exist for any businesses that sell their goods outside of Great Britain, in particular to the EU and to Northern Ireland, where new rules apply. There's a number of actions that businesses need to take, so I'd like to offer you my 3 top tips to help you navigate the choppy waters of EU transition, gathered from my years of experience of talking to businesses about international trade and more recently about EU transition in particular. So my number 1 top tip is to make sure that you know all of the general requirements and also understand any that are specific to your particular business. Now, that can seem like an almost impossible task considering the thousands of pages that are dedicated to the subject, but I'd like to suggest that you use the online Brexit checker tool to get a personalised checklist of actions and information quickly and easily. Just by answering a series of questions, you'll be provided with a list which not only covers import and export of goods and services, but also regulations around employing people from the EU, business and personal travel, and it also includes sector-specific guidance where applicable. We'll have a link to the Brexit checker tool in the description for the video, but the address is also really easy to remember. It's gov.uk/transition. Answer a series of questions, and at the end, you'll find an option to subscribe for email updates to anything that you've highlighted as an issue for you, as well as a link to the report of all the different information that summarises what you need in response to your questions. This general understanding is particularly important if you have customers or suppliers in Northern Ireland. If you do, then you may not even think of yourself as an exporter, but new rules do apply there as well. And although there are currently some exemptions, which make it easier to move goods to and from Northern Ireland at the moment, many of these are coming to an end over the course of the next couple of months. There's a specific item to tick on the Brexit checker to get more information. So don't wait. If you source and or sell products in Northern Ireland, make sure you understand the new rules and you plan to adopt them well in advance of any deadlines. My second top tip for you is to consider in the short term, at least, perhaps getting someone else to do the work for you. Now, I appreciate there will invariably be a cost attached to this, so every business will have to make their own judgment as to whether or not it's realistic for them, and stand by for top tip number 3, by the way, for something that might help with that. As with business in general, it's essential to know exactly where all your money is coming from and where it's going to. And in this context, that means understanding not only the basic cost of your goods, but also the cost of getting those goods to you and any extra costs of getting goods to your customers, delivery, transport, any licenses, taxation, and additional fees from any agents that you might use and so on. Only when you have a really detailed understanding of all of those things can you take a view of your profit and whether your selling price is sustainable in the short term, and if necessary, adjust it. In addition, you need to consider how your customers prefer to buy from you. If you're dealing mainly with business-to-business customers, then they're probably quite used to working with VAT and duties for stuff that they import from outside the EU anyway, and they'll also be used to the procedures that they need in order to reclaim those costs where they can. If your customers are mainly consumers, however, they may not take kindly to an apparently low purchase price from your website, perhaps, but when delivery of their goods is accompanied with a demand from a courier for additional VAT and handling charges, most of them will probably not like that. They'll be expecting to pay you a single price delivered to their door, delivery duty paid, or DDP in the international trade language. To give them that, you will need to collect all of the fees as part of your sales transaction and understand how to calculate and pay the right amounts to the right people so that you can give your customers a seamless experience. Or if that sounds a bit confusing, then you need to get somebody else who already knows how to do it for you. Fortunately, the people who can help you do this usually don't make it too difficult to find them. They call themselves things like freight forwarders, customs agents, brokers, and fast parcel operators. Also, if you're a member of a chamber of commerce or a trade association, then check with them as well. Some of these services might be included as part of your membership fees. Exactly what each of these organisations can do for you and how much they charge will vary, so I'd suggest you speak to several of them before choosing one that suits you. My third and final top tip takes us from the general to the very specific. At Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub, we've identified that for many businesses, the devil of EU transition is really in the detail. We recognise that getting into the detail of your own particular circumstances can't be easily done by watching a video or listening to some guidelines. You need to speak to somebody knowledgeable. So with this in mind, we put together a small panel of experienced trade experts. And we've also identified some funding to pay for their services to help you with particular issues. So my third tip to you is to access that particular support if you feel it would help you. I'd urge you to please follow my first tip. Make sure you have a good grasp and a general understanding of all the requirements and a knowledge also of any specific issues that you feel might exist for your business. Thank you for listening. I hope some of the information and suggestions are helpful to keep your business moving. If you still have any questions or you'd like to access the one-to-one consultancy that I mentioned, then please get in touch with the Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub. The contact information, again, is in the description for the video. Thank you again. Take care and goodbye.